Good evening. I am Jonathan Awayan. I am the reporter of Group 1. We are subjected to report about forms of business in social and economic development. First is sole proprietorship. What is sole proprietorship? In the oldest and simplest explanation, a sole is single and proprietor is the owner. In sole proprietorship, he does all the activities himself. He purchase, sale, and the other function. Sole proprietorship is a business owned, managed, and controlled by the single individual is known as a proprietorship. Sole proprietorship is not separate from the owner. He or she potentially liable for all liabilities of the sole proprietorship or contract. Next is partnership. Partnership have the freedom to divide earnings and losses as they choose. Partnership is a contract whereby two or more persons bind themselves to contribute money, property, or industry into a common fund. In short, the contribution and intention to divide is necessary. In contribution is formed by money, property, and industry. And the intention is to divide profits among themselves. Next is corporation. Corporation is a group of business owners that have the capacity of none less than 15 members that can have the profits and the interest.
Establishing a business. So it depends if a business is for profitable or non-profitable business. Both have different purpose. So ang purpose sa profitable business is that they to gain satisfaction, make money, and help others through job opening. So ang example ana is mga organization and businesses na nagpapasweldo sa ilang employee through the profit that their business is gaining. The next one is non-profitable business. So the purpose is to help others without exchange. So an example na is kanang Red Cross or other organization na naga-volunteer lang. Mga nagatrabaho na is volunteer sila and dili sila ginasweldon sa ilang organization nga inatrabahoan. Pero na chances na magka-earn sila salary through external sources dili gikan sa ilang organization.
So, good evening everyone. I'm here for the continuation of our report. I-discuss na ko ang 4 types of business organization. The sole proprietorship, the partnership, corporation, and the limited liability corporation. So, ang last reporter, kay na-report na niya ang sole proprietorship, partnership, o ang corporation. So, i-continue na ako ang limited liability corporation. When we say limited liability corporation, it provides the owner limited liability for the owner's debt and losses. So the owner was able to have some partners who will cover up the debts and losses. So that's why dili ma-burden ang owner and naa siya limited liability lang, dili unlimited liability. So the profit of the limited liability corporation are shared by the owner without double taxation. So, some disadvantages of limited liability corporation is that ownership is limited. And so, pag apply ka og limited liability corporation sa sugod kay dako siya og gasto tungod sa mag-file ka og mga papers and for the legal consent mga processes. So, high cost siya if mag-limited liability corporation. So after the business organization, we have the socio-economic development. So socio-economic development is a development process by which the economic well-being improve according to a target goals and objective. So a certain country ang goal is to be stable. Kung dili man stable, to give every citizen a good life. Nagpuyo sa certain country having a good life. So, ang socio-economic development, it is an indicator if a society or economy is improving. So, we have the 4 socio-economic factors that can improve a country. So, mo ni sila ang basis if a certain country is improving. So, we have the first, the occupation. If everyone is able to have work. Second is education. If the country is able to have a good educational system, able ba ang ilang educational system na mag-produce og mga students that can be useful in the future. So, the third one is the income. So, is everyone is able to generate income? So, makakuan ba sila, maka-generate ba sila income na maka-sustain sa ilang life, ng mga needs and wants. And the last one is the wealth. If every citizen is wealthy enough, or kung dili man siya wealthy enough, at least financially, kaya gani nila, kuanon ilang life gani is stabilized, baka nang wala sila naglisod. So those 4 that mentioned are the factors that can say that a certain economy is developing or improving.
So, good afternoon everyone. My topic is all about the practice of fairness, accountability, and transparency in the Philippines business. So, fairness is concerned with actions, process, and consequences that are morally right, honorable, and equitable. The virtue of fairness is establishes moral standard of decision that affects others. Next is accountability. Accountability is uncritical at the concept. Enhance the ethics of manager. Being accountable means standing by decision, actions, and overall well-being of projects. Next is transparency. The transparency is an individual being honest with himself about the action is taking. Transparency is also the organization being upfront and visible about the action it takes, and whether those actions are consistent with its value. So, when you have a business, you need to practice and apply these 3 opponents for business matters. It is because these are the needs of the company to help your company or business grow and being popular by having an advertisement, or it depends on what is your business about. These 3 opponents of business is very important because you really need to apply the fairness for the sake of your employees and help them grow. Accountability is a responsibility of a manager or as an employer in the company to help and to keep the company doing good work. And lastly, the transparency. It is an individual being honest with himself about the action he is taking. Transparency is also the organization being upfront and visible about the action it takes and whether those actions.
So, good evening everyone. By the way, my name is Jenny in America, and my topic is all about fairness, accountability, and transparency for socioeconomic development. So, when you say socioeconomic development, it is a process where identifying the social and economic needs in a community. So, yung mga pangangailangan ng isang komunidad, kung ano yung dapat na unahin, yan. And then, they are creating also a strategy, diba? Kung so, mag-identify sila, so ilang maggawa silang strategies kung anong dapat nilang gawin, ganon, to develop their economy. So, And then, sa fairness, May example ako is kanang ang face shield, di ba? We're now in a pandemic. And then na katong bag-o pang nag-implement ang bag face shield, di ba? Mahal ang mga face shield. Kanang ang price is kanang nabot ng 100. And then kanang so kay mahal man ang kanang the demand is high man, so ang price po nila gimahal po nila, but the DTI nag-implement silang memorandum to be fair with the customer. So nag-implement sila ang DTI o kanang kung hanggang saan lang ang presyo ng face shield. It's because dapat 50 lang kay ako ate is ang face shield daw is nalandaw na sila sa 12 pesos pag angkat so dako kasi sila ganan siya so dili siya fair kay ang customer sa crisis tas kuanan pag mga and then accountability is moto siya accountable ang reseller sa na may mo responsible sila sa ilang price sa face shield kay kung ma-exceed ang face shield sila pagpamaligya nga dili na gyud siya fair, di ba? Dili na sila naging wala na sila naging responsible silang dapat buhaton as a reseller. Kay nagawas naman ang DTI o price gyud dapat sa face shield Sa transparency naman is being honesty. So for example, katong panahon nga ang mga bugas is kitaguan sa bodegaan katong kay gusto nila ipagawas lang pag magmahal na pag wala kulang na ang demand sa bugas and then ipagawas nila tas parang price nila kay mahimong itaas pud nilang price sa bugas and then kanang dapat sa transparency maging honest ka kung unsa dapat ang imong kung unsa ang status god may transparent ka kung sa'yo nagapangitabo sa ekonomiya kay kita man tanan need naman tay mga needs sa tong sa tong matag usa kinabuhi di ba naman tay mga needs so dapat may transparent puts para sa uban then to sum up is if the merchandiser is not fair or not showing their fairness to the customers so they are not accountable to their actions and then dili sila accountable silang actions and then if they are not transparent they are not fair to the customers so if kana nga mahitabo dili nila magampanan ay kana nga dili magampanan so mahimo silang it will happen that they will receive sanction. It's because kailangan man dapat ka maging transparent, may kang accountable o may kang fair para sa imong ekonomiya. And that's all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayar Arlatan, and I am the one to discuss fairness, accountability, and transparency. So, fairness is the quality of making judgment that free from discrimination. Fairness is an equal treatment towards your employees, shareholder, or to everyone. Just for example, in the partnership, the net income of the partnership is 250,000, and so it managed by 2 people. So it divided by 2 so that they have 75, each partner has 75,000 individually as their net income as an individual. Or dividends, if dividends kung sa corporation siya. Second is accountability. So accountability is an obligation or responsibility of someone to the action he or she takes. Just for example, as a manager, I am responsible in all action that the business takes. For ang akong kitake nga plano is napalpak. So ako ang responsible so dapat na ako'y contingency plan or alternative plan para palpak man tong isa is napa ko'y backup. So, transparency is being open to everyone, to your employees, shareholders, and etc. And it is how you see your employees without bias. Just for example, so naay something wrong sa inyong organization, nag-away-away ba sila, and being transparent is dapat wala kay dapigan silang duha sa imong mga empleyado. Paminawon nimo yung side, paminawon po nimo yung side, and then dito na ka maghimog judgment kung kinsa jud ang naay mali. So dapat fair lang jud ka, saya transparent lang jud ka, dili ka kanang ma-personal, ay sa iya lang ko kay friend ni ana. So conflict of interest na siya. So mao na to. Thank you.